Good morning, everybody. How you doing on this Wednesday, June 22nd, 2022? Hope everybody's doing well this morning. Woke up all healthy. All right. So I think the biggest news is Mr. Powell speaks here in about 40 minutes, supposedly. So that's probably the thing we're going to have to watch here. Be very, very careful with that. And then remember, he speaks tomorrow. So that could be a game changer in the market, either up or down. And I just don't believe that we can guess what that is. I know that the majority of the guesses are going to be that he trashes the market. Well, you don't know that. And so it just depends how much risk you want to have on. So good morning, Ron, Jim, John, Thomas. How you guys doing? Mark, Blue. Why? How's everybody doing here? So it's Wednesday. It's Hump Day. Today should be an interesting day. Tomorrow should be an interesting day as well. Here's the way I see the SPY, and it doesn't matter if Powell is talking. It doesn't matter if anybody's talking here. Here's kind of what I see. Because price is below the T line and the T line's below the trend indicator, the bears have total control. Not a little, total. There's no gray area in here. It either is or it isn't. Here's a chart that kind of really shows it sort of in a black and white way. It's like right here. The buyers have control. The bulls have control. No questions about it. The sellers have control. No questions about it. No black and white, no in between. Very cut and dried. Sellers have total control all through here. Buyers have taken control for a short period of time. And now the sellers have control. Sellers have control right now. The only way the buyers can take control is if those red dots turn green and that white line is above them. Now, this is by my measurement, okay? Somebody else might have a different measurement, but this is just by my measurement. And it seems to work fairly good. Pretty happy with it. Keeps me, well, let me I was going to say it keeps me on the straight and narrow. The problem is sometimes I walk crooked, just like everybody else. But if I just paid attention to this little simple chart right here, then I think one would be a little bit more on the straight and narrow, and you wouldn't be necessarily trying to front run the market, which usually just beat you up a little bit. So anyway, sellers have control. So the buyers do not have a winning game right now. The sellers have a winning game. Let's take a look at T2122. This is a chart. I wouldn't put, and I've mentioned this before in the room, I don't particularly use this an awful lot. I wouldn't put a ton of weight in it. Oh, we're oversold coming out, so we've got to be bullish. Wrong. We do not have to be bullish. Just like when it's at the top, oh, we have to be bearish. Wrong. You do not have to be bearish. This is just sort of something to look at. Okay, that's all. If you look at it, it's moving up and the market's not moving up. So be careful not to put your weight into T2122. It's just something to look at over there. If I had to put my weight into something like this, it would be T2123, the 4-week new high-low ratio here. I only look at the 15-minute and the hourly chart. And right here, all day long yesterday, the buyers never picked the ball up. They tried a couple of times. They did do that. But they never picked the ball up. Heck, they were trying to play basketball on a football field. Buyers didn't know what they were doing. Had a nice gap up in the morning, but after that, they could not get anything going. You can see by the hourly chart, there's no way we have a bullish move here. None. Now, could that change this morning? Absolutely. That's the thing about trading. Everything can change instantly, absolutely instantly. One news event, um, one thing out there that could chop the market up, one that could push the market up. It just takes one little news event to make a change. So here's what I see in the market right now. I'm a big T line user. That's that black line right there. So for me, I like to see bullishness over that. That might get me a little excited. I would prefer over the Trendicator, but you know, you have to start with something. So I need to see the bulls come up over the T line here, and I will adjust that based on what the chart is doing. So wherever the T line is, that's where I'm going to draw that line. The next thing is just come down to these lows right in here. This space right through here. Last night, if you were at the webinar, this is hamburger. Okay, this is going to suck you in and out of charts. This is going to make you crazy. Take your crazy pills today. Just right now, take your crazy pills. Don't be crazy today. And you know, be cautious with this market. All right, enough of that. I'm not going to do any preaching here this morning. We start dropping below, then here's the 1,000 period moving average, and I completely believe we're going to get it. I don't see why we're not going to get it. Once we do, then we'll reevaluate lower. I am still looking for a possible relief rally. Unfortunately, the fact that Powell's talking today and tomorrow, I'm not nearly as confident about that. Not even remotely. Nah, just not. So mind your P's and Q's in the market. Also, the first thing in this morning, I don't think this is a good time to trade, really. Let's take a look at some charts here. Here's a little cheapie, $1.70 right now. We're over the T line. We have a little trend to the upside here, doing pretty good. You know, we look at, I'm going to put my line right here, just below that high, close to that high, close to that high. I think that works. Above $1.58, this chart looks bullish right in here. Right here is the dotted deuce. So what I'm going to do is just put up something like that. That's 61%. So a beautiful trade if orchestrated correctly. Mind your rules. Let's not forget about entering, you know, looking for entries on like a 3/8 trap. Wait for it to come to you. If you're an inside day trader, you know, if you're looking for an entry inside, say what the pre-market candle is doing, then wait for that. Don't let it do this. There we go. Don't let it start running up, and then you get a case of the fear of missing out. So you get that disease, and then you jump in it. That's not what you were waiting for. So don't trade that. That's very dangerous to do that. Let it come back to you. Maybe you're not a 3/8 strap trader. Maybe you're not an inside day trader. Just the important thing is declare what you want and wait for it. And if it doesn't, it's no biggie. There's another one. Let's take a look at Merck. If Merck moves above the 50 period moving average and can stabilize above there, Merck might be bullish. I'm not even remotely bullish until we get across that 50 period moving average. DG is another one that I kind of like here. Look how this thing has rolled up over the 50, and here it's tested. Yesterday, it showed some strength over the 50. Today, it's an inside day. If it starts to break out, I could see that as a buy. CF looks short to me. So CF has come up here and put in a top. The T line, the Trendicator price has all rolled below the 50 period moving average. The 50 period moving average is trending to the downside. So possible targets, the dotted deuce right there. There's the 200 period moving average, and all the way down here to the 500. Now, you can come through here and you can look at price and you can find some, sweet super spot that you might think it comes from. And I think that's great. I think that's great. But right now, I'm just going to lay lines on the moving averages and then follow price to the downside. Um, so we start to get below that 84.25 area, then the 200 is down here. And what do we have here? What do we got? You've got 9, almost 10% from the T line here. So if you're trading the T line, so example, right away, this is looking like a short. And that would be your stop area. If I'm trading the T line, I'm looking for stocks close but below the T line. If they come back up, then I wouldn't want it. So I would get out. So your risk is relatively small here compared to the possible target area. TTWO, I still like this for a long, and I still like this for a short. It's all about how it negotiates that 50-period moving average. So let's say today, let's say tomorrow, I mean, at any point here, it could come in here and just, whoops, that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. It could come in here and put a big old bearish engulf. Below the 50-period moving average will be bearish for me, and above the 50-period moving average. So if it does something like this, like yesterday was an excellent day. Today's just an inside day. There's nothing concerning me one way or another about yes. I'm sorry. The day before was a good day. I'm confused. Yesterday was a great day. So far pre-market, there's nothing here that's making me think anything at all. If anything, slightly bullish because we're over the 50-period moving average. So I'm watching TTWO for a trade. Tesla. Right now, Tesla still looks long. I think it's got a bit of a issue right through here that it needs to clean up. And if it can get through about right there, maybe. Another line I'm going to have to use. Wait a minute. How come that is? No, we'll use that right there. Yeah, above 722.20, then I think we have a ride to the 50-period moving average here. So you're looking at about 9% and then renegotiate up here. Chewy's all set up above the T line, 50-period moving average, excuse me. If it can hold in there, it may slide sideways. If it can hold, then I think we should see some more upside. Net looks short. Net has been in a downtrend. Nothing about this tells me or makes me think that we're going to move to the upside. Nothing at all. This is a good short setup. I like the scan that I have that does this. I have a couple of them now where it's down and we have that slight little pull up and then it gets bearish here. That's a great stop area to start with if you want to adjust it. When I say that area, I mean the T line. Follow price to the downside. If price starts to come up, then you can either use that T line or you can use price, you can use trend indicator, everybody's a little bit different. Okay, you shouldn't try to copy somebody. You can take ideas and then make them yours. Twist things around so you feel more comfortable. So there's lots of little places in here that I see that could be a stop. For instance, right there. Now I'm going to use this body. We come up through this body, that could be a stop right in there. A little higher up, but that certainly could be. I know traders that play deep. That's the stop. Now that scares the crap out of me, but I know traders that do that. Dish is still a short. Look how Dish rolled over. Nice move down. A little bit of rest. Looks like the sellers still have control. I think one thing we might want to do is put a line right there. And if we do close back above that line, that should give a short seller a little bit of concern. And at that point, I think we want to see what the market is doing. Make sure the market is not running up. Because if market runs up, a lot of stocks like Dish will run up as well. They may not go anywhere or go very far, but they're likely to run up. UVXY. So, okay, I agree with everybody that wants to draw a trend line here. But if I agree this, then I think you should agree with me that that is a bullish setup. Enough said. Now, what are you going to do here? The smart answer, I think, is let's be patient. Are we going to break out? Or are we going to die right here? That will tell a story what the market is doing. If we break out, move up, the market's going down. If this dies in here and starts dripping to the downside, the market is going to slide up just a little bit. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. Wait for the trades to come to you. Just remember, Mr. Powell is on the microphone this morning, and that could be a really big game changer. Very possible. You guys take care. I'll be back in about 20 minutes, and let's have some fun today. Thanks a lot. Appreciate everybody being here.